This is a really horrible story out of West Haven, Utah. These two here, Nichole Scott and Shane Peterson. Shane is the father of 12-year-old Gavin Peterson. Gavin died this month in July from starvation and abuse, malnutrition. The story is horrible. This young man's story, his case, was reported to Child Services by his lunch ladies, by the school principal, and by his biological mother, and still nothing was done. So here's how the story has been told so far. Gavin was 12, but when he was 2 years old, his mother had an issue with drugs. All I've read is that it was a marijuana pipe or something that they found, and they took custody away and gave 4 children to Shane here. At some point, he ended up dropping 2 of the children back off with the biological mother, but that's later in the story. 2020 to 2021, the lunch ladies saw how thin Gavin was and how tiny he was, and they started buying his lunch because he was digging through the trash looking for food. This happened again the following year. Now, they kept reporting this, and again, nothing was done. They started just, buying his lunch because clearly the child was starving. And Nichole here, the stepmother, found out. She was extremely angry, and they pulled him out of school and started homeschooling him. This poor kid. So, the mother got to see him about 4 years ago, and she started taking photos because he was so skinny. She reported that to Child Services. These two find out about it. They make up a story about her. And, she's the one who's had the issues, so clearly they believed them. And they stop visitation until a judge can hear it. But this was at the height of COVID, and everything's been pushed back. So she doesn't get to see her son again. But one of the children that Shane here had dropped off told the biological mother that they had cameras in the room, a lock on the outside of the door. They zip-tied them to the bed and only gave them a piece of bread to eat for the day. And the bread had mustard all over it. They watched them, with cameras and all of this stuff. Well, fast forward to this month, and 12-year-old Gavin is found unresponsive on the floor. Allegedly, Nichole and Tyler up in the corner here, who I'm not sure whose son Tyler is exactly. I believe it's Shane's son, but I don't know for sure. They put him in the bathtub, allegedly, and tried to revive him, but it was too late, clearly. He was found in a diaper, curled up on the floor. That's what they had this young boy wearing, a diaper. He was starved to death. They were all 3 arrested, arraigned, and they'll be back in court August 1st. I will say that the young man in the blue up here, one of the articles that I read said that he grew up in this home with these two, and he has autism, so he probably would have just followed whatever they told him to do. I don't know how accurate that is, but I'll add that in here for you to see yourself.